Hey guys, what is up? It is Balloon. Welcome back to my channel. Hi, how are you guys? Happy Sunday. As you can see, I've got nothing on my face. My skin is kind of going through it a little bit. You can see little breakouts. Hormones, excuse me. But we're going to get into some makeup and a little bit of gossip while we paint our faces. So let's get into it. I'm going to grab my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. That's just the universal one. That's the one that I love to use. So let's get into the tea. Last night, Jeffree Star, of course, went out to a car show. He took all of his pink Barbie cars. Okay. Now, I've got to say, yeah, they do look impressive, you know. One thing I think a lot of people were picking up on was the fact that Jeffree was not wearing a mask. Of course, Jeffree was showing off his new hair, the new kind of shaved head, coloured bright pink. Honestly, the hair, I love it. You know, I think the hair looks really, really cool myself. And also the hair makes me feel kind of nostalgic. You know, brings me back to pink-haired MySpace Jeffree because, hey, I'm old as fuck and I grew up with Jeffree Star on MySpace. So for me, that is like a really huge nostalgic thing. I love it. I live for it. You know, the hair, I think the hair looks great. Do I always agree with Jeffree Star's actions? No. And this is where I'm going to say, yeah, okay, he's being irresponsible, going out, wearing a mask. He's got asthma. He's not vaccinated yet. He said that in his video the other day, you know, that he is getting the vaccine in a few weeks. So is it irresponsible to go out without a mask and you're meeting and greeting all different people? Yes. Next, for colour correctors, I'm going to use these Kimchi Chic. What are they? The most concealers, the green and the orange. So, aside from Jeffree dyeing his hair bright pink and shaving it off, who else has got bright pink shaved hair? Oh, Boomcat, his makeup artist. That made me laugh, honestly. I'm going to put a side-by-side up so you can see. This is just funny to me because it looks like, oh yeah, we've both done the same hairdo. You know, it looks like they're part of a gang or something. I find that really, really funny, you know. Just silly, funny. Not that it doesn't look good, but I just found it funny how it's like a uniform, you know. Oh, here we come with our little pink hairdos. You know, they look like a couple of boobies if they stand next to each other. Two guys with the same pink hair. You know, two big round pink boobies. Just going to use my drugstore foundation. This one is the Barry M All Night Long Full Coverage Foundation. This I've been using for ages. I go through such a lot of it. So I like to get a drugstore foundation because it's more affordable. When you use it every day, like I do, you go through it quickly. So I don't really want to be spending, you know, 30, 40, 50 pounds on foundation. So if I find a good drugstore one, I'm like, yes, thank you. But let's get back to the tea. Jeffree said in his most recent video, the saying goodbye video, he said that, you know, there'd been a lot of change in his life and all of that right now. So yeah, I can totally understand like wanting to start fresh, wanting to shave your head, you know, I do totally understand it. Is it him mocking Britney Spears in 2007? Possibly. We don't know, you know, I don't really think that's the case, but it could be. Knowing Jeffree, you know, it's something that he might well have done to shock people, but it also might just be that he wants a change because of all the changes going on in his personal life. A little bit of Magic Star concealer. I use the shade C7. It's like a light neutral one. But yeah, you know, I love this pink hair. I love this kind of change for him. I think it's cool. I think it's kind of sexy. You know, why not? You know, have a bit of fun. And I'm glad it's pink. MySpace vibes only. I've always liked Jeffree Star's kind of aesthetic though, you know, because he does do things that are a little bit more bold, a little bit different to what a lot of people do. I love this kind of chartreusey colour suit that he had on as well in the reel that he posted. I thought that was really, really nice, honestly. But we're going to move on because James Charles is also in the drama once again. James Charles like I've said before, was nominated for a Kids' Choice Award. If you didn't know, he was nominated for a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award. Now, this is really, really kind of dodgy because, of course, James Charles has been in a lot of trouble recently for sexting minors who are 16 years old. But people have come out now saying that they've also spoken to this same 16-year-old that James Charles spoke to. They're claiming that the 16-year-old also lied to them on Twitter and stuff. They're posting things trying to show their kind of proof of that. So I really don't know what to believe in this situation. You know, it can be one of two things. But James Charles has won a Kids' Choice Award. Honestly, though, I really don't think James Charles is somebody who should win a Kids' Choice Award. Ethan Klein from the H3 podcast also had something to say about James Charles getting this award. He said, "Congratulations to James Charles on his Kids' Choice Award. It's great because kids have always been his choice too. P.S. at Nickelodeon, please keep an eye on him during the party." I just think he's not really kid friendly. You know, although James Charles is very much trying to hang around with a younger crowd by hanging around with people like Charli D'Amelio, who's 16, all the TikTokers, you know, they're all a very kind of what I would call teeny bopper crowd. And James Charles, he's now 21, so I don't consider James Charles to be like a teeny bopper, but it always seems that James Charles is just going for what's most relevant, you know, what's trendy. So to me, it's no surprise that James is trying to, you know, bandwagon onto the TikTokers to try and keep himself in the spotlight, keep himself at the top of the beauty gurus and stuff, because this is what he does. You know, he probably doesn't want to fall off. And, you know, he sees the way that things are going. So he goes to all these little TikTok dancing friends and stuff who will hopefully help him maintain his popularity. And I just think that's kind of sad, you know. I think, you know, James Charles, move on, get friends your own age. For my cheeks, I'm going to use the Made by Mitchell blush in the shade Mango Daiquiri. This is a cute orange one. I like this. So we are literally just going to take a few dots of that here. And there. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Do you think Ethan is right to kind of say his piece and call James Charles out on this? You know, do you think it is true? Do you think James Charles has been doing what people have accused him of? I mean, I'm not saying that anybody was lying, but it's kind of weird how this guy, this random guy, came forward on Twitter claiming that he also spoke to Isaiah, one of the alleged James Charles victims, and he said he has also had a similar experience with this Isaiah guy. So I'm finding it all really weird. Personally, I do believe that James Charles would sext minors. I don't know why, I just do. I just kind of get that vibe that he would use his kind of money, his power, you know, the position that he's in to try and, you know, link up with people who are really not appropriate for him, just because he might fancy them, he might want them. I'm going to grab a little bit of powder blush from the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism palette. So I'm going to use the shade Twilight, this really peachy one up the top there. Grab a bit of that on the brush, on an old MAC brush. Loads and loads of blush. I really go in with blush, I love it. And now we are tangerine blush, but I really don't care. Anyway, let me know what you think about the James Charles stuff, because it is really interesting how some randoms, some complete randoms, popping up on Twitter with these receipts, and we're just supposed to believe them. I mean, I don't know. I really think it could be the case that James Charles has paid these guys off, like Isaiah. I think James might have just paid them off to shut up. But of course, James Charles loyal fans are just defending him on all of his tweets. You know, when other people are trying to bring up the fact that James has been sexting minors, they're all jumping in saying, oh, he apologised, he came out and said he's sorry, what more do you want, what do you want him to do, he's addressed it, all of this stuff. But, you know, Sexting minors, trying to get involved with minors isn't something that I'm ever going to forgive. You know, it's not something that I think is okay. It's not something I think people should be allowed to get away with at all. So if this is what's happened, then James Charles really kind of needs to be, you know, reprimanded for it. Like, where's Morphe taking away James Charles' palette? They haven't taken it away. They've put it on sale, but they've also put Nikita Dragon's palette on sale. You know, some Jacqueline Hill palettes on sale. So James Charles is not getting any punishment for this. It's okay for James Charles apparently to have all these kind of scandals when Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson were villainised. Oh, you know, Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson. Oh, Jeffree Star was removed from Morphe, you know, as well as Shane Dawson and the whole conspiracy collection and everything. It was all taken out, gone. But how is that fair? You know, why is it one rule for them and one rule for James Charles? Anyway, guys, I'm going to stop this little video right here. Let me know what you think about all the drama. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.